Hey everyone, I'm Drew. This is Dustin. We're here in the AFI. What would you call this place?
I think this is a project lab.
Project lab, and we're here for another AFI DIY. And what are we making today, Dustin?
They told me it was making bath bombs.
Bath bombs. I like bath bombs because, well, there's nothing I like better than taking a bath and having my water look pretty and smell good. So let's get into it.
Let's go. So Drew, why did we put on gloves?
Well, the main reason we put on gloves is because I don't want to get it in my fingernails, but also because we're mixing these ingredients and we're doing it for a customer, so we don't want to contaminate and get any germs or anything for the customer like that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what's the first step that we're going to do in making this bath bomb?
So first we're going to take our sodium bicarb and mix it in and sift it through. Drew, it disappeared.
That's good. That's what we want, right? Okay, so we've got the sodium bicarb in our mixing bowl, so I don't think we need that anymore.
Nope.
All right, what's the next thing that we need?
So we're going to take our tapioca starch and mix it in.
Okay, so we're going to add the tapioca starch. Okay, so we've got our sodium bicarb, we've got our tapioca starch. What next?
So we need to put the sodium lauryl in there.
Sodium lauryl. And so we've got our dry ingredients mixed in here. Now we're going to save the citric acid for the end.
Correct, so that we don't have a chemical reaction.
So that we don't have a chemical reaction. So now that we've got all of our dry ingredients mixed in here, we can go ahead and we can whisk it and mix it together, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. All right, how does that look?
Looks awesome, man. You did great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I took a cooking class one time, and I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. Okay, so we've just mixed our dry ingredients, and now we're moving over to our wet ingredients. Now it's important, from what I understand, that we have a different container for mixing our wet ingredients.
Absolutely, because if you was to cause a reaction, it'll set up and then we'll have to start all over.
Good point. So now, in our wet ingredients, what are the ingredients that we have?
So we're going to take our polysorbic acid and our fragrance oil and get those mixed in, and then we're going to add our witch hazel and our because I can't pronounce it.
Cocamidopropylbentane.
What he said. So let's start with the...
Well, first, before we get into that, what's the fragrance that we're using?
So today we are going to be using our strawberry pound cake.
Okay.
It's an absolute 10. It's great. It actually makes you, feel like you're in a bakery.
Okay, and a little hungry too?
Yeah, that too.
All right.
No eating it. So
now, do we mix them together at the same time or just one at a time?
Let's do them at the same time.
Let's do them at the same time. So it's important to mix these thoroughly.
Absolutely. So we want to make sure that these are very mixed together.
Really work it in there. And as you're mixing it, you can kind of see, I know it's hard to see on camera, but you can actually see it all mixing together so that you can see it start to get a little thicker. Okay, so now what are we adding?
So we're going to take the witch hazel and the
cocamidopropylbentane.
That.
And we're going to mix these together thoroughly as well. Did I take your job, or would you like to go back to?
You're doing a good job.
Oh, thank you. So we want all the white to disappear. Okay, and now for just a special treat, we're going to add a dye, just to give it a little bit of color. Now, what color are we adding? I guess we'll find out. Let's just throw it in there.
So it turns out that it's red.
Which is perfect for strawberry pound cake.
Exactly.
It's a perfect color. Okay, so now that we've got that mixed, what do we want to add next?
So we're actually going to take our liquids and mix it in with our dries, and then once we get that mixed together, we're going to add our citric acid.
Perfect. So let's go ahead and let's add our, now do we mix it, do we whisk it, or do we spatula it?
I'm gonna let you make that choice. Fair enough.
Let's go. Let's make this happen.
Start whisking.
So how long do we mix?
Till it's mixed.
Okay, I like that.
It says that it should feel like wet sand.
It's getting pretty hard. It feels a little like wet sand. Okay, so we've got our dry ingredients and our wet ingredients mixed together. Now we just need to add the citric acid.
Exactly. And we actually need to sift the citric acid.
So we need that thing I threw away.
Now we can add the citric acid.
Why didn't you tell me that earlier?
You moved too fast.
Adding the citric acid.
All right, so now we've got to hurry up and mix.
And we have to do it quickly because it dries pretty fast.
Correct.
And now let's feel. It does feel like it's wet sand. All right, so we've got our mixture done, and now we're ready to put it in the mold. So we've got this type of mold, which it should be pretty good. This is what we're gonna find out. This is what all the kids are using these days.
All the cool kids.
All the cool kids. So we're just gonna put it in and we're gonna scrape it together, get a lot in there. We want as much as we can to pack it in as tightly as possible. And this is gonna give us that round shape in the bath bomb that we're looking for. Okay, so once you get it compacted into the mold, we wanna take a hard surface, something like the end of your whisk, and we want to tap it just to loosen it up from the mold so that it's easy to come apart. And there we have it. We have a nice round bath bomb for your bathing pleasure. Now, if you'll notice the color has lightened up a little bit. It looks white, but it's really a really light pink, which is very perfect for the strawberry pound cake fragrance anyway.
Oh yeah, and it smells amazing.
It really does. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it in our drying tray. Now, how long do we wanna let this dry?
So typically it takes about 48 hours for them to set up, and then it'll be ready to use.
So in 48 hours, you should have a nice strawberry pound cake bath bomb for your bathing time enjoyment. Okay, well, Dustin, no DIY project will be complete without destroying something, okay?
I'm all in.
So what we're gonna do now, these do smell fantastic. We're gonna take some water, we're gonna take one, put it in the water and see how it reacts. Are you ready?
Ready.
You wanna do the honors?
Absolutely.
You did all that work.
Foaming.
It's foaming, it's bubbling.
Think
It smells great.
Yeah.
This is gonna be great for a bubble bath, and here we go. That's what you go to chemistry for.
Nobody warned us about this. Drew, that was a little too much destruction.
Well, that's what they get when they send us to do a job.
You let it overflow.
I didn't let it overflow.
It was overflowing on your side.
So make sure you like, follow, and subscribe for more DIYs by AFI. You're getting in the puddle.